So we're back, and I just want to do a short review of the two slides, the one with the elderly gentleman sitting into the tree, and then the short fill in the blank with it's just vocabulary practice. So we have the sun here. We have the gentleman sitting underneath this beautiful tree. We have oxygen gas, carbon dioxide gas, H2O, which is water, glucose, which is a fancy schmancy name for sugar, and then energy. Okay. And then the directions up here, in say in this diagram, drag and drop the terms and determine where it leaves or enters the tree. Use arrows to show direction for the man, the carbon dioxide, water, and oxygen. Now, if you forget how to make arrows, you can come down here to the Screencastify and click on the short video to help you remember. So in this picture, we're just focusing on the elderly gentleman and the tree, but certainly are the birds and the squirrel in the bottom right using oxygen? Yep. Are they giving off carbon dioxide? Yep. Is the grass making oxygen? Yep. Is the grass taking in carbon dioxide? Yep. But we're just going to focus on the tree and the gentleman. Okay. So let's start with the sun. I think the sun is probably the easiest one to get over here, and it's probably the most important, right? So without the sun, none of this is happening. So the energy absolutely comes from the sun. So all of the energy involved in photosynthesis is from the sun. Okay. What do trees take in? Well, they take in water, right? So the water comes mostly from the ground. And so what are we going to do? We're going to take an arrow. So we're going to go up to the line box. We're going to get an arrow. And we're going to draw that arrow from, oh, I lost my box. There we go. I'm going to draw an arrow from the water all the way up to the tree. Now, this is where you might need the tutorial. We're going to change the color because we can't see the darn thing. And I'm just going to make it blue because it's water. And I'm going to increase the thickness of the line so that we can see it. Okay? Now, the reason why I chose blue might be obvious, but it's also the color that you're going to be using for the next tutorial also. So carbon dioxide, where's the carbon dioxide going? Well, the carbon dioxide is going into the trees, right? Because the tree is using the carbon dioxide. So we need to get an arrow, another arrow. Carbon dioxide is going into the trees. I'm going to make that red because that's what it is in your next exercise, just to keep it consistent. So the carbon dioxide is going into the trees. Well, where's the carbon dioxide coming from? Well, guess what? The carbon dioxide is coming from all of these organisms. But remember, we're just focusing on the gentleman. So we're going to get another arrow. And we're going to go from him to the carbon dioxide. All right? I'm going to change that again to red. I'm going to make it thicker. There you go. So the carbon dioxide is going from the elderly gentleman, it's going into the air, and then it is taken up by the trees. Okay, so we're pretty good there. What about the oxygen? So the oxygen is being released by the trees, so we need another arrow, and we're going to make that arrow green because again, that's what it is in your next thing. So we're going to drag this. We're going to change the color to green, and we're going to make that a thick arrow so we can see what's going on, okay? Well, remember, this is a cycle, right? So the cycle means that these molecules go somewhere. Well, where do they go? The oxygen gas gets used by the elderly gentleman, right? So we're going to click on another arrow. We're going to drag the arrow from here to here because the gentleman is going to be using that oxygen gas. We're going to change it to green, again, just because you're going to use that in the next one, so that's why I picked that color. And so now, look what we have here. We have almost a cycle, right? So the water's in here, carbon dioxide, and what about the glucose? So the glucose is going to be stored where? Usually the glucose is stored in the tree itself, okay? So the water and the carbon dioxide are going to combine to make glucose. the glucose, and the oxygen gas will do something called cellular respiration. And you can see that it's sort of forming a cycle, right? Because photosynthesis is, in fact, a cycle. I think that's about it for today. Thank you.